Crime 5.
Well, it's not much of a day for sailing, Hendricks. Perhaps we'd better let it go for another day, do you think?
Oh, no, Martin. I want you to be the first one to sail with me.
What do you know about sailing anyway? I've never heard you express any interest in it before.
I bought the boat for just one trip. After that, it can rot on the beach.
That's quite an expensive whim, Hendricks.
Not very, Martin. I rather counted on a day like this. It all fits very neatly into my plans. The beach is deserted, the water's rough, and you, my friend, are about to dissolve our partnership.
What the devil are you talking about?
I'm afraid you'll think me quite mad, Martin, but it's rather important that I kill you.
All right. I'm going back to the city immediately.
Now, wait a moment,
Out of
Martin.
your
I'm not
mind.
quite finished. You might as well know that I've robbed you of every penny you have. I can't afford to have you tell that information to the police, as you would eventually.
Good heavens, do you know what you're doing?
It's very clear, Martin. Come here.
No, let go of me.
Goodbye. Thanks for everything, Martin.
We found the body all right, Mr. Hendricks. The tide washed it in on the beach about 4 miles from here. From the look of it, the body must have been in the water about 5 hours.
Yes, that's just about the time it happened, Inspector.
How come you went out on such a rough day?
Well, Martin knew that I'd bought a new boat, and he insisted on being the first to sail in it. I had some doubts about taking the boat out with such a strong sea running, but Martin knew I could handle a boat, so we decided to take a chance.
A man would have to be a pretty good sailor to go out in that stuff.
Oh, well, yes, I am. I've won several sailing competitions, as a matter of fact, Inspector.
Ah. What happened after you got the boat out, Mr. Hendricks?
Well, the boat handled very well for the first 20 minutes. Martin was taking care of the rudder while I was up in the front of the boat. The force of the wind was leaning us over to the right, so I went over to the left side of the boat to try and balance it.
Did you get it on an even keel?
Oh, I straightened it out all right. Things seemed to be going well. When all of a sudden I heard a yell from Martin. He'd let go of the small sail and it was swinging wild. I ran to the back of the boat to try and get it, but before I could reach back there, the sail swung round hard and hit Martin on the head. Practically lifted him off his feet, and the next thing I knew, he was in the water.
Couldn't you save him?
Well, no, he must have been knocked unconscious by the sail as his head was down in the water. Well, I was going to jump in, but the boat was carried away too quickly, and I lost sight of him. I tried to turn round and find him, but it was too late. Yeah, it's been a shock. Martin was my best friend.
And you, Mr. Hendricks, were his worst enemy. I'm arresting you for murder. Mr. Hendricks, for a man who claims to be such an expert sailor, you show an amazing reluctance to use nautical terms when describing your boat. Most sailors, including amateurs, use the useful terms. Starboard, port, aft, astern, bow.
But it's not a law.
Come, Mr. Hendricks. You're not one to be speaking of laws. You've broken the most important one, and there's only one word I can use. Murder.